there he is again, my strange roommate, standing just inside the doorway, staring at me. I pretend I don't see him, even though I can feel his unsettling eyes fixed on me. Every night, I close my door tightly, but each morning, it's cracked open again, like someone's been in here watching. I've caught him lingering outside countless times, his shadow spilling over the floor, and he must think I'm asleep. He's always there, silently observing, as if he's studying something he's not supposed to see. I've thought about calling someone, anyone, for help, but my phone is gone. I've searched every corner of my room, turned my bed inside out, emptied every drawer, checked every inch of this place, and nothing. It's vanished. I know he took it. I don't have proof, but why else would it just disappear? He's trying to make sure I don't reach anyone, that I can't let anyone know what's happening here. We share an apartment, but calling him a roommate feels wrong. It's like he's something more and something less at the same time. I barely know him, and yet he seems to know everything about me. He's controlling too, in this quiet, terrifying way, like he's always one step ahead. The other day, I found my shoes hidden in the closet, placed behind a pile of boxes. I didn't put them there. Why would he hide my shoes? I'm not imagining it. He's always finding new ways to restrict my freedom, like he's slowly erasing my ability to make decisions, one small detail at a time. The strangest part, he avoids talking to me altogether. I can't tell if he's shy, angry, or something else entirely. When I ask him simple questions, he cuts them short with the fewest possible words, or sometimes just stares at me with this strange, flat expression. When I question why my things keep moving, he just mutters, "Shouldn't you be in your room?" Then he set a bedtime for me, a strict, unyielding bedtime, 9 o'clock, every night. If I leave my room after that, his eyes track me, cold and unwavering. He just stands there, arms crossed, looking at me with the sort of gaze that makes my skin crawl. Sometimes he'll say, "Back to your room," but mostly he just waits, expecting me to listen. And I do, every time. What would he do if I didn't? Yesterday, he took another of his strange phone calls. These calls come and go, seemingly without pattern, and every time he gets one, he steps away into the hallway, voice dropping to a hushed murmur. He'll look back at me while he talks, as though he's making sure I can't hear, or worse, as if he's talking about me. Last night, I heard him say my name. He whispered it into the phone, and I froze. It was unmistakable, the sound of my own name in that cold, detached tone. And he kept glancing over his shoulder, like he was checking to see if I was listening. Who is he talking to? And why does it feel like he's planning something? I try not to dwell on it, but the more I think about it, the more certain I become that he's plotting something against me. There are times when I catch him watching me with this strange intensity, like he's waiting for something to happen. Sometimes I wonder if he's waiting for me to mess up, to slip out of line so he has an excuse to. I don't even know what he'd do, but the thought alone is enough to keep me on edge. And then there's the door. The front door has this strange lock. Every time I try the handle, it feels different, like it's been tampered with. I tested it the other night, but it wouldn't budge. I get the sense that he's hiding something he doesn't want me to see or understand. Is he trying to trap me here? And it gets stranger still. Last night, I was woken up by a noise in the kitchen. So I crept down the hall, careful not to make a sound. He was there, alone, poring over a stack of documents, flipping through pages and taking notes. His face illuminated by nothing but the dim light above the sink. When I got close enough, I saw my name scrawled across the top of one of the pages. He saw me then, his eyes narrowing just before he gathered up everything and left the room without a word. What could he possibly have written about me? Why is he keeping records on me like that? And he has these odd little habits. He leaves strange little messages in the common areas, sticky notes with reminders. Stay hydrated. Don't forget to breathe. As if I need reminding. It almost feels like he's mocking me, like he's analyzing me, waiting for me to react. But for what? Why does he need to know how I respond? I found a key in his room. It was small, almost unnoticeable, hidden in a drawer near his bed. I don't know what it opens, but just holding it felt like holding a secret he never intended for me to discover. What is he hiding? Part of me wonders if he's a spy of some kind. Every time he gets a call, he seems to speak in code. It doesn't sound like a normal conversation. It sounds rehearsed, like he's reporting to someone. And why is he always looking over his shoulder? Who is he expecting to see? Or who is he expecting not to see? What if he's some kind of psychologist, sent here to observe my every thought, my every fear? Sometimes I feel like a lab rat, trapped in this maze he's created, running from one dead end to the next, with him watching, waiting for me to tire myself out. The other day, I heard him mention procedure into the phone. Just that one word, but it lingered. What procedure? What's his plan? I've thought about running, escaping, but with every detail that unfolds, the idea of trying to leave grows more impossible. I've tried the front door. It's locked in ways I don't fully understand, almost as if it's been modified to keep me in. The more I learn about him, the less I truly know. Another night, I lie awake, staring into the dark, waiting for his footsteps. He must know I can hear him. Tonight, though, he doesn't stop outside the door. It opens slightly. And instead of lingering in the shadows, he steps fully into the room. I sit up, nerves taut, ready to confront him, ready to demand answers. He meets my eyes, and instead of the usual cold, blank stare, there's something new in his expression. Something soft. Something sad. You have questions, he says quietly, sitting on the edge of the bed. His voice is gentler than I've ever heard it, almost a whisper, as if he doesn't want to disturb the stillness in the room. Of course I do, I say, my voice a mix of fear and frustration. Why? Why are you watching me? Why do you keep hiding my things? Why did you take my shoes and my phone? He looks away for a moment, taking a deep breath, as if preparing himself for something heavy. Yes, I took your phone. I've hidden things, all to protect you. Protect me. I feel a mixture of disbelief and confusion. From what? From the parts of yourself you're struggling to remember. He pauses, his face cast in shadow. The doctors told me not to explain, said it would be best if your memory came back on its own. That's why I've been careful, why I haven't told you the truth. I open my mouth to answer, but realize I don't have an answer. The past feels hazy. The doctors warned me it might be better if you didn't have certain things around, things that could overwhelm you too soon. They said you might not remember everything, and that forcing you might only make things worse. My throat tightens. You're my brother? He nods, a bittersweet smile on his face. Do you remember the accident? He asks gently. My mind scrambles for something, a memory, an image, anything. Flashes of broken glass, a loud crash, a hospital room. His face is there in every memory, looking tired and haunted. They said you needed as much rest as possible, that you shouldn't go anywhere, and that you might be confused. They also warned there was a risk of further memory loss. So, I packed a few things and moved in here with you until you're feeling better. I hesitate, a lingering doubt in my mind. Who were you talking to in all those calls? He sighs, his voice calm and steady. Mostly family and the doctors, checking in on you and asking for updates. It's all I remember, I say. The woman across from me tilts her head slightly, her eyes soft with concern. You don't remember what happened to your brother? I shake my head slowly, unable to meet her gaze. She lets out a steadying breath before continuing, her voice gentle yet unwavering. You took your brother's phone and called 911 from your apartment. You told the operator you were being held captive by a man. That man was your brother. But at that moment, you didn't recognize him. When the police arrived, they asked him to come outside, hoping to resolve the situation peacefully. She pauses, her gaze fixed on me, and I can feel the weight of what she's about to say. When your brother stepped out, he may have reached for something, perhaps his phone, but the officers misinterpreted his movement. They thought he was armed, and in the chaos, they shot him. He didn't survive. A heavy silence falls between us, and I feel as if I'm sinking. Each word pressing down, filling a hollow part of myself I hadn't known was there. When he was gone, she continues softly, the trauma became too much. You went into shock. That's why everything feels so fragmented now. And that's why you ended up here, in this facility.